What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today I will be covering day 2 of Africa TV, the Valorant tournament. Firstly, I'll just recap day 1. So day 1 we still had a profitable day. Sentinels versus Paper X we got quite unlucky with. It was a pretty close game. I think I underestimated how hard Sentinels have been training in this off season, and maybe Paper X, maybe they haven't been doing as much training. But either way, unlucky on that, but it was profitable because I was very confident that Full Sense would be able to take a map away from DRX. And in fact, for a moment I thought Full Sense were going to beat DRX. But DRX, I'm a big fan of them, and I know that they've got really good mental. They're just really mentally strong, so they managed to bring it back, and I'm super glad that DRX actually won that map. But yeah, that was an underdog bet, $3.75 if you did that plus 1.5 map on Full Sense as well. So yeah, profitable day. Anyways, now let's get into day 2. So to kick it off, we've got Fancy United versus Team Liquid. Now this one it is going to be same thinking as with the Full Sense versus DRX. So Fancy United, I don't know too much about them, not gonna lie. I was looking through their match history, and there's nothing too crazy. They haven't been to any like crazy international tournaments. It was mainly around like the APAC region. I mean, they beat Boom, and I do know Boom. They were the ones that took a map off of Optic. So these guys, they're not going to be pushovers. They're decently strong, but obviously Team Liquid, they've got far more experience. They're just going to be better. But it's a bit of a coin flip with Team Liquid, because have they actually been training in this off season? We don't know. There's no info of any of their scrims. They haven't attended any tournaments in the off season. So it's honestly a coin flip. Have they been partying it up and holidaying, or have they actually been practicing hard in the off season? And either way, I feel like it's super safe to just bet on Fancy United to at least win one map. To just win one map against Team Liquid. And Team Liquid, they've got a new team. They picked up 3 new players, so they still have to get used to it. They still have to get the team chemistry going, so it might take a bit to get used to. So it's really likely that Fancy United wins at least one map here. And I managed to get it at $4.56. 4.56 for Fancy United to win one map. That is just insane value. And I think it might be a similar situation with the DRX versus Full Sense game, where DRX ended up winning it in the end, but Full Sense, they actually they were pretty surprising in how they played. And I think Fancy United, they have an opportunity to actually surprise us here. Okay, next up we're looking at T1 versus Edward Gaming. Now this one is an interesting one. Honestly, it's going to be super entertaining to watch. I really like watching Edward Gaming, and T1, they can show some really spectacular things as well. T1, they picked up 2 new players. King from Gen G, and Aizu, I don't know where he came from, to be honest. But either way, they've got 2 new players, and they did participate in the 10 Global Invitational, and they did alright. Like, they didn't get smashed, but they got beaten by DRX, and this was DRX on the Flashback and Foxy9 roster, which was a bit of a controversial roster, I guess. So DRX, I don't think they were performing to their fullest extent, and T1 got beaten by them twice. They did beat Cloud9, but I guess Cloud9, maybe they were getting used to their roster a bit. I mean, T1, they were still getting used to their roster, as are a lot of other teams. But I don't know, T1 kind of mid right now. They got to get used to things with their new roster. Got to get the chemistry going. Edward Gaming, on the other hand, they've been getting a lot of practice in. So they played the 10 Global Invitational, as did Edward Gaming. But after the 10 Global Invitational, they played this whole Valorant China Evo, whatever the hell this thing is. And they weren't versing scrubs. These guys, they're respectable teams. And, you know, they were pushed to their limits. They lost a game against Trace, but then they brought it back. They lost against Rare Atom, but then they brought it back. So it wasn't a complete steamrolling. The Edward Gaming, they were actually pushed to their limits. They had to really display what they had, and I think so many matches, it's just such quality practice. Like, yeah, it might give T1 some more material to counter strat or whatever, but man, this level of practice is just unmatched. So Edward Gaming, they're going to be going into this, they're going to be already warmed up. So because of that, I'm betting on Edward Gaming to win. I got that at 1.46. So it's an overdog bet, and I was debating whether to put 2 units onto it. So if you're betting, you should bet in units. Typically, you bet 1 unit per bet. Sometimes you bet 2 units. So yeah, I was debating whether to bet 2 units on EDG. You could, if you wanted to, if you've got some spare money. But I'm thinking I just play it safe. Just a 1 unit bet on EDG to win. Overdog bet 1.46. I think it's pretty safe. I mean, majority of the time I go for the underdog bets. So, you know, you got to have some of these safer overdog bets, mix them in a bit, may as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow. Good luck.